Hi everyone, Mama Jane here. So something happened the other day which got me thinking. So on the weekend I attended the Women in Comics Festival put on by the All Stars Women Comic Book Club that I attend. We funded this festival ourselves. It was organised by Kaz and I and Soph, some wonderful people that have been running the club for a while now. And I worked at the table at the front for the first day, and we had so many people come through. It was so much fun, and we had all of these local creators there, and we had a Q&A panel, and it was wonderful fun, and it was really nice to see it all come together. But one of my favourite parts of the day is I was sitting at the table with this wonderful woman named Emily. We were working the table together, and this young girl who was only about 16 came up to us, and she was asking us about comics and how to get started and what we read and what we think she should read. And it was so much fun. Emily and I gave her a big list of the things that we liked and sort of gave her some recommendations. And she asked me if she should do any background reading, which I didn't think too much of at the time, but it made me think that perhaps this girl thought to be considered a fan, she should know everything about the comics. And I kind of explained to her that the comics will age with the time, so things from the 80s and the 70s, they're not going to be relevant nowadays. The themes and the stories are going to be a little bit strange compared to what's out at the moment. It just made me think about getting into the comics and how there's a lot of pressure to know everything and to just, you have to read Superman, you have to read Batman, you need to know the full history of Wonder Woman, you need to know what Aquaman's father's next door neighbor's dog name was. And that's ridiculous to ask of anyone. That's not how anyone learns anything. No one is born knowing everything overnight. I've always been really lucky. When I first started reading comics, I didn't know anyone else that did, and then I got onto the All Stars Women Comic Book Club, and there are all of these wonderful women that go that are really inclusive, and people have different opinions, but everyone is really friendly about it, and whether they disagree or they agree or whatever. A lot of the local creators and artists and things that I've spoken to have always been super nice and really welcoming. I've only ever had one situation where I felt somebody questioned my level of awareness due to my gender. I was at not All Star Comics, at a different store. I was going in to buy a Spider-Man 300 for an old partner of mine. He wasn't particularly into comics, but he did really like Venom. So Venom's first appearance was in Spider-Man 300. I went in, and I'd already actually been in on a separate occasion and spoke to the people about it. I went in with a girlfriend, we were out shopping for the day, and I said, I'm after a copy of Spider-Man 300. And the guy stops what he's doing, he looks at me and he goes, it's kind of expensive. And I went, yeah, I do. Anyway, so he went and got them and he showed them to me, and once he realised that I knew what I was buying and that I was planning on spending the money, he was very happy to talk to me and very happy to serve me, and that was the only time ever that I thought that me being a woman affected how somebody treated me in regards to comics. That's the only time that I've ever noticed it. It possibly has happened otherwise, but I have a wonderful lack of self-awareness sometimes, and I'm happy to skip around and be all happy sunshine and rainbows, and sometimes I really just don't notice these things. A lot of the women that I know have had guys especially pull them up on things. I've known girls to do it too, so it's not gender exclusive, but it does seem to happen a lot more to women. I've had female friends that have been sort of pulled up on their knowledge, or questioned about what they know or how much they read or things like that, and that's if you like a single comic book, just one single issue, you like comics. That's it. You don't have to have a certain base level of knowledge for it to be appropriate that you read it. I had a very good friend of mine, we were going to a convention and she wanted to wear a particular Star Wars dress that she had. I think it was R2-D2. And she said she was going to wear it and she goes, oh, maybe I shouldn't. And I went, oh, you think you're going to be cold? Because it was in the middle of winter. And she goes, no, I don't think I'm enough of a fan. Hold up. Hold up. You're not enough of a fan because you want to wear something that you like, but you don't know the full history of Star Wars. You don't know the name of every Jedi Master ever. What level can you say you're enough of a fan? So I just want to call out to everybody to say, be welcoming, be inclusive. If someone goes, oh, I'm really into Aquaman right now, don't turn around to them and go, you just like Jason Momoa, because everybody likes Jason Momoa. But don't turn around and shut them down or put them down. It's your responsibility as a comic fan to go, oh, that's really cool, I like Batman, or that's awesome, have you read this one? Without testing their knowledge. The more money that goes into comics, whether it be comic books, comic book movies, comic book TV shows, whatever, the more money that goes into it, we get more things. So Suicide Squad was a really good example of this. I saw quite a bit of stuff on Facebook talking about the women that were wearing the Harley Quinn t-shirts weren't real fans, and I bet half of them haven't even read the comic. Do you know what? If only Suicide Squad fans went to see the movie, it wouldn't have been made. They wouldn't have been able to fund it, let alone sell enough tickets for it to be worthwhile. So, and that's how you become a fan. I saw a particular one on Facebook that was complaining about half-assed cosplay girls in Harley Quinn t-shirts and tights that they probably haven't even read the comic. Who cares? Who gives a single poop about it? If they want to go see the movie, that's fine. If you like something, you're a fan of it. You don't have to prove a certain amount of knowledge, and you don't have to have been there from the second it started. Sure, I understand where people are like, I've liked this for a really long time and people teased me about it and now it's cool. I really do get that. But you know what? That just means something you like is cool now. You're ahead of the curve. You're winning. When people go and see movies like Suicide Squad, they're gonna think, oh, that was really cool. Okay, maybe they won't think that about Suicide Squad, but they think, that was really cool. I enjoyed that. Maybe I'll check out the comic. More comics get bought, more movies get made. I get more Marvel and DC action, people. So when I first started reading comics, there's two incidents that really stick out and made me feel really welcome and like this was going to be something that I would love and I would enjoy. After the Spider-Man 300 incident, I decided I was going to try another comic book store. And I went to All Star Comics. And I met Kaz, or you guys will know her as Nerdburger, there. And I just thought she was so cool. I still think she's really cool. And she was just awesome. I told her I was reading comics and she was like, oh, that's really cool, you should read this, and rah, rah, rah. And I mentioned in passing one day that I had a blog and she's like, that's awesome, that is so cool, give me the link. And she was just always really nice and excited and friendly about everything. And it made me feel so welcome. I didn't feel worried about going into the store. It was just really good first face-to-face experience. And the second thing is I emailed a local creator called Chris McQuinlan. He wrote a comic called How to Make a Friend, which is still one of my favourite books to this day. He had his email in the back of the book and I sent him an email saying that I really enjoyed it and that I gave it to my mum who had never read a comic before and she really enjoyed it, and that I wanted to review it on my blog, which was so tiny. It was just beginning. I think I had about 5 posts written at that point, and I didn't really expect to hear much back. And a couple of days later, I get an email in my inbox, and it was from Chris, and he was like, "Oh, that's awesome. I love that you loved the book. I'm really glad that your mum liked it. That's super cool. I'd love you to review it. Go ahead." And eventually went on, I met him at conventions, and he's actually a friend of mine now, and he was just always so nice, and he made local creators seem not scary. He reminded me that they are just normal people, but he was so welcoming. I felt okay to talk to local creators about their work and talk to people and say what that I really liked something or that I didn't like something. So those two incidents, they gave me such a good start. I may not be here doing the blogs and the videos and everything if I hadn't have met these two people so early on and had a bad experience when I started. Thanks for listening to me get a little bit rambly in this video. I've done this one completely without a script because I wanted to talk from the heart. I wanted to be really genuine and open up to you guys. I would like everybody to have that great start that I had. So if a single person watches this video and feels a little bit more welcome, then I am over the moon thrilled about that. So I will catch you guys next time. Bye!